This is BullionMax. I'm Mark Allen, along with Sean Reynolds, the customer service manager for BullionMax. Welcome to the show. This is a real special edition. We're going to go to Chicago and we're going to spend some time with Russ Bega. Russ is the floor manager for Harlan J. Burke Limited. It's one of the largest coin shops, I'm going to use that word, in the country, and they specialize in antiquities as well as American coins. It's just fascinating. Russ, welcome to the show, and Sean will jump in too. But what is it about coins that attracted you, even at a young age?
Yeah. So, I've always been someone that's interested in history, even from a very young age. What really got my start, I was about 8 years old and I was just walking my hometown and I was with my mother and there was a window for a local coin shop and there was stuff I'd never seen before. So I walked in and I walked out with a new hobby and a new career that I've been doing since then, really.
And you are a numismatist. Did I get it right,
Yes.
guys?
Yes, you did.
Okay. What does that mean?
So numismatics is, the study of coins and currency from a historical lens. The term numismatist is really just more of a professional label for someone that does what I do, which is I'm a coin dealer, but I'm maybe a little bit more advanced. I write, I speak about coins. I put people into high end coins. I put people into lower end coins. So I'm just an expert in my field, I guess you could say.
He knows what he's talking about.
He knows what he's talking
Fancy
about.
word to say this guy knows what he's talking about.
That's absolutely true. Just a little history. We should mention and thank you for your almost 14 years of service in the military.
Yes,
You're
sir.
out, but you're still in the Guard.
Yes.
Got it. And well, thank you again for your service. When you were in the service, were you stationed around the world?
So I was mostly in Texas. I've kind of been all over the U.S., but for the last 4 years, I was out of Lubbock, Texas. I've always been a collector in my time, and I always did a little bit of what I would call like vest pocket dealing or kitchen table dealing. So I'd make some extra money on the side.
Got it.
You know,
Dealing in coins. All right, let's talk about, and I'm going to have Sean join in. Tell us about Harlan J. Burke Limited. Give us a history because it's fascinating.
Yeah. So Harlan J. Burke Limited, we've been in business since 1964. Our founder, Harlan J. Burke, still is around. He's upstairs on the 13th floor going over some ancient coins right now, I'm sure. But it started out kind of as a family concern, and it really still is a family concern. But Harlan started with the very famous 1916 D Mercury dime that could be found in change all the way back, in the 50s and 60s. And from there, he really branched out to ancient coins. And that's what we're really known for as a firm. We're world renowned. We've handled some of the rarest coins. Harlan has written several books. Aaron Burke, who is our vice president, is Harlan's son, and he is an expert in his own right. So in the 1980s, we moved down to Clark Street from Joliet, and the location we're in now, 31 North Clark, it's actually been a coin shop in some form or another since it was basically built in the 1940s. Before us, there was Rare Coa, which is out in the suburbs now, but this location has pretty much always been a coin shop. So it's just history on history around here. It's really neat.
And you're not far from the commodities and downtown and the
We
exchange.
are we are smack dab in the financial district.
Yeah. Wow. I've done some video work at the CBOT, Chicago
Board of Trade. Yep.
Board of Trade. All right, let's take a look at some of the things. I'm going to just jump in one time, Sean. You know me.
Fair enough. I know you. Go ahead. Go for it. You do you, boo. How about
I'll
that?
do me. But let's talk about antiquities and investment opportunities. You had a remarkable sale recently, and this is not for the beginner antiquity collector, is it?
No. So we recently purchased at auction a coin for a client. The story behind this coin is really kind of the highlight for me. So I'm gonna be a little brief, but so this is a coin called a gold Eidmar. Eidmar means the Ide of March, the Ides of March in Latin. And this coin was struck by a military mint under Brutus, the assassin of Caesar. And it actually is a coin that celebrates the assassination of Caesar by the conspirators. And it's a little macabre. It features a liberty cap on the back, flanked by two daggers, the kind of daggers that would have killed Caesar. And so this coin is really proclaiming to the world, I, Brutus, am the slayer of Caesar. And there's about 80 of them known in silver, and they always fetch, six figures in silver, but there's only 3 known in gold. And the one we just purchased for our client has actually spent the last a little over a decade in the British Museum on loan. When we purchased this one, we purchased it for a little over $2.5 million US.
Wow. That's amazing.
A2 Brute.
Yeah,
A2
Brutus. Yeah, exactly.
And the special coin versions available in silver and gold.
Right.
Quantities are limited, so order now.
The fact is that you work in areas that BullionMax does not. And so it's a good compliment. And we're happy to provide the education for our viewers who might be interested in expanding into other areas such as the antiquities and I guess American coins as well, Sean.
Yeah, these guys deal in a lot of things that we don't, say, for example, Morgan dollars, pre-1933 gold. These are things that we will probably expand to in the future, but we're just not there yet. So awesome to know we've got someone we can refer those people to who are looking for maybe not necessarily or maybe including volumes of those coins, but also really nice ones. Because there are people who collect Morgans and they want to get one of every year and every mint and things of that nature. And so they're just as collectible as some people are about old baseball cards and things of that nature. So if somebody were looking for stuff like that, Russ, how could you help let's say a Morgan collector quickly understand what types of things you could offer them?
So as a shop, and as a firm, we really cater to every level of collector. I have clients that come in that spend $50 a week with me trying to fill, old blue Whitman folders, and we also have really, really advanced collectors. We build some of the most world-class collections, anywhere really. We have a hand in that. What I like to tell people that kind of first start working with us is, if you want it and we can meet on a budget kind of a thing, we can pretty much make anything happen. We've dealt with coins, obviously we've dealt with 7-figure coins, but what I really enjoy here is being able to help collectors like me. I don't have a 6-figure budget to spend on coins. But I can put people into really nice coins that they want to collect for reasonable prices where we're all happy with it.
So you're saying you take requests?
Absolutely. I do. I actually keep I keep want lists for clients. I have a client that really, really likes large cents, United States large cents from the 1790s to the 1850s. And I have his list. And anytime I get something in, I make sure I cross-check it. I look, and if I have it, I give him a call. He comes down, we schmooze for a little bit. And if he wants it and I can sell it to him, then I sell it to him. And so we all kind of have clients like that we try to take care of.
Sure.
Are the coins that you have at Harlan J. Burke Limited, are they for collectors or for investment opportunities, or as many of the things that we have at BullionMax are for both?
They're always for both. I mean, rare coins, it's just like anything else. I can't give investment advice. I'm not, not qualified to do that. But historically, people have, used rare coins as an investment. And we have things for all of those people, from, like I said, collectors that are just beginning to more advanced collectors to, people that are looking to put away gold in a way that is also appealing to them. Some people don't like bars. Some people want something that they can hold, like pre-33 gold.
Mm-hmm.
They want to be able to hold a little bit of history, but also have that metal with it that backs it. So, we cater to all those people.
There's are either of you familiar with The Bishop's Wife, the film?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
No? You should watch it. It's a great film. Cary Grant leads the cast and amongst others. But and Cary is an angel. And David Niven is the bishop. And he's trying to build a cathedral. And the professor, Monty Woolley, all these old actors, I'm sorry, gives him an ancient coin. And he says it, and David Niven says, oh, it's worthless, and just throws it on his desk. Well, it turns out it could build the cathedral. It's that valuable. Do people still find things like that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we get some really rare stuff in here from people that have inherited things, or that have just, recently rediscovered them. But what a lot of what we see are people that will come in with things like, just the other day, actually, we had a young lady who came in that had inherited, a bunch of stuff from her grandfather. And it's a coffee cans full of coins. And so, I went through and I glanced and I looked and I said, okay, well, the bad news is nothing in here is rare. And, she kind of looked a little sad. I said, but the good news is I can pretty much still write you a check for close to $18,000 because it was all constitutional silver. It was all 90% silver US coins, and it was a lot of it. So we see a lot of things like that people, come across, things that they've inherited, things that they've found that, we're able to put them onto things like that. But yeah, I mean, absolutely. People, you'd be really surprised at what people have kind of hiding in the corners.
With the the coins that you just wrote an $18,000 check for, what was the face value of those coins?
It was a little under $1,000.
Oh my!
Appreciate it a little over time.
Just a little bit, yeah.
That is terrific. Sean, you had an interesting thought that you mentioned earlier, like some of the coins that Russ might have that are really outstanding currently in the shop.
Stuff in the shop. I don't know. Maybe we'll make a segment out of this, Mark.
I think it's a great idea.
And of course, this is based on the best of Russ's knowledge, not knowing I was going to ask this question. But Russ, what would you say would be some of the things for people who are familiar enough with coins, but they would find them to be fascinating? I mean, obviously the Ides coin.
Yeah.
Mind blowing. Okay, let's take it down just a little bit because I doubt you got another one of those. But what would be among those? Wow, that's really cool type of coins in the store.
Yeah, so we kind of go through these cycles where sometimes we have just the coolest stuff in the shop and it lasts for about a day and it's gone. Other times they stick around for a little while. So currently, probably one of my favorite pieces in the shop right now is an 1898 Morgan dollar. But it's a proof.
Wow, that's not common.
It is not common. It's a proof 66 and it's in deep cameo graded by PCGS. And it is proof Morgans already are very uncommon to find. But finding one that is also a deep cam and finding one that is as nice as this one is, it's just not something you see all the time. It's a gorgeous coin. I like to show it off. I have a lot of Morgan collectors that come in. We've had it for about a week now. And, anytime a Morgan collector comes in, I make sure to, hey, have you seen this? Have you checked this out?
Just to look at it.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No, if there's one thing we're not shy about here is handing people coins that, sticker for 5, 6 figures and handing it to them and telling them to take a look at it, because really, here we really care about education. We really consider ourselves stewards of our hobby and of our profession. So we'll show anything off. We absolutely love to do it. Let's see. So we also have a group of seated Liberty dollars in right now, which is actually what I specialize in. I specialize in seated Liberty coinage, professionally and as a collector. And there's, a couple mint state coins, there's a couple almost uncirculated coins, and they're very difficult to find nice. They really weren't intended to circulate here in the United States. And they really didn't circulate here in the United States. A good chunk of them went over to China as trade pieces. And the other ones sat in bank vaults a lot and got moved. So they can come really not great. And a lot of them, buying them as a collector can be tricky, because a lot of them have been damaged. They've been cleaned. They've been otherwise messed with. So finding really nice, good looking ones is a challenge. And right now we've got like 4 spectacular ones sitting in my main case. And
cool.
You're drooling over those, aren't you?
I am.
He's beaming right now.
Yeah. I may get in trouble.
I think you mentioned something, Russ, that, we don't normally come across with selling primarily bullion, but care of these older coins. Can you tell us a little bit about cleaning, not cleaning, recommendations for the folks who are watching?
Don't use silver polish, for example.
Yeah. So cleaning coins, any coin, is generally a bad idea. Unfortunately, a lot of people think that, by taking some sort of chemical or taking, some sort of brush or something will enhance the coin, will help it. And truly, that's pretty much the opposite of everything. There's a fine line, and it does exist, between cleaning a coin and conserving a coin. As professionals, we have some training to conserve things. There's companies like NGC who specialize in grading coins, but they also specialize in the conservation of coins.
Okay.
So they can, some of their most famous work is from like the SS Republic shipwreck, where they brought up, hundreds of millions of dollars worth of old US gold coins that had been sitting on the bottom of the ocean for well over 150 years. And they're able to professionally conserve them and, do it in such a way that it doesn't damage the coin. And that's difficult to do, especially for an amateur. So my recommendation is always just leave it alone. If it needs help, it can possibly professionally be done, but doing it as an amateur, most of the time you're just going to have heartache.
So would you say the same thing for the people who have inherited a bunch of stuff? As you said, don't get cute thinking you're going to clean it and make it more impressive and sell it for more. Just bring it in and show it off. Let it speak for itself.
Yeah. And that's always it. We do get a lot of that, of a lot of people coming in and they don't know what they have. And, sometimes that does happen where they clean things, or unfortunately we live in an age where we're blessed and we're also cursed with the internet. If you type in, for example, 1972 penny, you'll come up with a lot of what I would refer to more as clickbaity results that say, this penny is worth, $3,000. And you'll find things, websites that people will list things for, exorbitant amount of money. And part of my job, I actually tell people, is I'm a professional heartbreaker, because I have to tell them that unfortunately, this particular coin isn't worth that kind of money. There's nothing I love more than telling someone that they have a $10,000 coin and I want to buy it, because 1, I get to make money off it.
Right.
And 2, I get to give them really great news. Unfortunately, that's just not the norm of what happens. So it's kind of a double-edged sword.
Yeah, I often hear from the people who have a mint mark error on a recent 25-cent quarter, and then they'll see our 5-ounce bullion of the same thing and go, "Hey, is this worth hundreds of dollars?" No, it's 25 cents. Yeah, exactly. I'm not your buyer for that. BullionMax is not your buyer for that.
But BullionMax, one of the things about what BullionMax does is extraordinary customer service and education.
Mm-hmm.
Harlan J. Burke Limited. That's the foundations of the company, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it really is. We're very involved in education. We're very involved in keeping the hobby, um, you know, alive.
Mm-hmm.
We love what we call young numismatists. If you walk into our shop and you're a kid that's really under the age of 16 and you have any interest in coins, you're probably going to get spoiled here. And you'll probably walk out with some freebies. You'll probably walk out with some folders, some things like that,
and some dreams.
Yeah, because to jokingly, what I tell people is that if I plant that seed now, I have job security in 15 years.
There you go, exactly.
And it's kind of true, but
not in a bad way though at all.
No, exactly. But yeah, education is big for us, and customer service. Like I said, we've been here. We've been a firm since 1964. We've been in our location since 1984. You don't get that way without taking care of people as much as you can.
Mm-hmm.
I had a couple of questions because you're a member of a number of different organizations: the Liberty Seated Collectors Club, the American and Illinois Numismatic Associations, and as you said, you specialize in Liberty seated coins. We never got what is a seated coin? I don't
Sure.
know.
Yeah, so a seated Liberty or a Liberty seated coin it's a common design that was used in U.S. coinage from 1836 to about 1891, and they used it for pretty much all minor denominations of silver. So I'm talking half dime, quarter, 25-cent piece, 50-cent piece, and dollar. It's a very long-lived design. Basically, the design is it's the image of liberty. So it's a female liberty, the goddess of liberty. She's seated on a rock and she's holding a pole with a liberty cap on it. And at her side is a shield that says liberty on it. A lot of our coins at the time were taken from very Greco-Roman style designs.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of what this is. It's a coin design that personally has always spoken to me. I've always been obsessed with it since I was a kid. So that's what I choose to specialize in right now as a collector and, in my professional life. Not that I'm not well-rounded and everything else, but that's where my passion really lies.
Mm-hmm.
And the history of those coins.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I always think of a coin when I'm looking at something as ancient as the one we mentioned earlier, and we'll have pictures of some of these coins that during our interview we've had up. I always want to know, who touched this coin? Who bought a loaf of bread with this dime that's now worth maybe hundreds or thousands of dollars.
Yeah, I think that's what attracts a lot of people to the hobby. What I tell, especially kids when I do talks and things, is that, history for the most part, unfortunately, is this concept that you can't touch. I can tell you all about the early United States, and I can tell you about, for example, the Civil War. But when I put a $50 in your hand that was made at the New Orleans Mint in 1861,
wow.
And because of certain characteristics, I can tell you that it was actually struck not by the United States government, but by the government of the Confederate States of America.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I can put that in your hand and you can hold that and you can feel the weight of that. You can feel the weight of that history and what that meant to us as a country, what it meant to us as, a people. And it's something that's very important to me, because at the end of the day, these aren't just expensive widgets to me.
Mm-hmm.
They're tangible historical artifacts.
Well, and as somebody has said, if we look at history and learn history, something I wish I had realized in high school and college, maybe life going forward will be better. We won't make the same mistakes.
One can hope.
Right? Listen, we really, really appreciate your time, Russ. Will you come back?
I would love to come back.
We'll find, more topic. Maybe when you have a special coin, we can do a special on that or something.
Yeah,
Yep,
absolutely.
More cool coins from the shop.
Hey, I could talk about them all day.
So we actually, and I think I can say this, the coin from Brutus, you have a picture of you holding it.
I do. Yeah.
Right.
So ancient coins are kind of weird. So with like US coins, people get really concerned about them. There's a lot of slabbing that goes on, third party grading services and stuff. For ancient collectors, a big part of the appeal is being able to physically touch that coin. And so most will not have them in slabs. Like this coin will never see the inside of a plastic holder.
Wow.
And so when my boss Aaron, comes down with cool ancient coins, he'll just plunk them in your hand, and that's exactly what happened with this one. So yeah, I have a picture of me holding it at my desk, and it's probably one of the memories that I'll always cherish the most, because I work in a really cool place where I get to see and touch history.
That's amazing. Russ, thank you very much. I was saying bye to your boss. Listen, thank you very much. Sean, nice seeing you as always.
Good to see you, Mark. Nice to meet Russ today.
Yeah,
Pleasure.
absolutely. Listen, if you are watching, you want to subscribe, we have a subscribe button for you right under us here on YouTube. And we encourage you to subscribe, and you'll get all the information as we release new episodes of BullionMax. For Sean Reynolds and for Russ Bega, I'm Mark Allen. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now.